It's good, man.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's good to see you. I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir.
And would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
My name is Elijah Duke. I also go by E, and this is my Stormy story.
And so you already know what the metaphor is on what storms are. And what I'm trying to learn about you and what people are here to be an audience to is what storms you've been through in life.
Uh, well, I come from a small city, Fulton, Kentucky. It's a city with one stoplight. Well, not one stoplight, but one intersection.
Mm.
So no traffic, nothing like that, nothing glamorous. It's a city known for, nothing to do, no opportunities. I made the best out of it. But, small city, nothing to really get into. A lot of negativity, gangs, people on drugs, dealing, stuff like that. I mean, that ain't nothing to do in, the modern day era. And I'm not just trying to trash my city or nothing like that, but I just wasn't meant to be there forever. But, yeah, grew up from a single parent household, just my mom, and I had my big brother, may he rest in peace. My pops, my real pops, which I'm not even gonna call him my pops, but my sperm donor, not really in the picture. Might have met him less than 20 times in my life. So, I mean, his loss though. So,
Yeah.
can't really, beat a dead cow. So,
No, I get you.
but yeah, I just had my mom and my brother, and they kept me out of so much. Growing up, I used to think they were so strict on me. I can't be out of the house. I can't go hang out with my friends. I can't go out walking with all my friends. And I used to always think like, maybe like what would happen, if I just got out once and did this and that. But me being such a simple kid, it was kind of just easy to me growing up. If I stay in school, make good grades, stay out of trouble, I get rewards. Simple thing like a PlayStation game, new shoes, new toys, and things like that. So I then became comfortable with just being a homebody. To this day, I'm a homebody, and I have them to come in for them to do that.
But you really that was them always showing care and love, trying to protect you from what we would refer to as the clouds.
Right. The clouds, yeah. Just growing up, I seen my mom, use drugs, drink. And at the time, my mom always had like a lot of friends around. They wanted to be around her because she was a fun time. All those times, they were bad, but I had a lot of fun growing up in them. A lot of people, a lot of kids around the house. I had a lot of parties, but I didn't understand what the adults was doing. But it wasn't meant for me to know.
Right.
But I know when my mom got her life together and stuff like that, they thinned out.
Yeah, when she got her life together, what exactly happened? What was she doing?
Well, she stopped, smoking weed. She stopped drinking. She'll take a drink every now and then, occasionally, sparingly, but, she cut all that out. And, her real friends, showed up. But, I mean, that's just how it is. I kind of can relate to that. A lot of people, they smoke, drink. They're in the party scene. They like to go out and club, and I'm not trying to diss them at all. If that's what y'all do, that's everybody has an escape. But to me, my high is going home, turning on the TV, finding something funny on there, getting on Xbox with my guys, and they know who they are. I don't have to give them a shout out. I get on with my guys, and we can talk about anything. We can laugh, not necessarily cry, nothing like that, but we laugh, have serious talks, joke around, and all those things. But I mean, that's my high. I'm a simple guy.
Yeah.
I go to work, I come home, I go to the gym, I play basketball, and I repeat.
Yeah. And that helps kind of solidify the discipline you have and the way that, even though, like, I remember you off camera talking about how some people view it as boring or lame.
Yeah.
But really, that's what brings you to that sunny day. That's what really brings you to having a peaceful life.
Right.
So it's always a good thing because you also have your friends and you have that support system. So
Yeah.
it's like that's always clearing your skies whenever, even on the days that you might feel depressed or anxious or any of those
Yeah.
negative feelings. So it's great that you have that. And so, but when it comes to outside of what you're going through right now, daily life and all that, your past, what are some of those types of storms really that you've been through, obstacles you faced, things like that?
So, the people that know me from Fulton, growing up in Fulton was cool. Can't really complain, but I got picked on a lot growing up.
Mm.
I was real soft as a kid. Any word, calling me ugly, dark skin, I had big lips and stuff like that. But, I mean, it shaped me to who I am today. I can't really be mad at people that used to do it. But, if I wouldn't have had those people, toughen my skin up and, actually make me enjoy, love who I am. Because, at the time I was like, dang, they hate me. There was at one point I didn't even want to be dark skinned anymore. I just wanted to be like anything. Like, I just got picked on for my name. It wasn't my first name. My last name is Duke. But they add the extra E on the end, it'd be Dookie.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I'm just like, dang, I'm dark skinned and they
Kids
calling
are
me
mean,
Dookie.
bro.
I was like, dang. But, after a couple years of it, I just started to laugh at it. And then now everybody calls me Duke. So that's cool. But all the people that really got to know me from after high school, they just call me E. Too many people was messing up my name.
I
don't know how to explain that, but I thought it was a simple name. But just going through that adversity growing up, being told that I wasn't smart enough. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I knew I put in the work to show everybody I did what I did.
Yeah.
And, but like my real test was when I lost my brother in 2018. And, because it's easy. You can see, other people go through it all the time. You see other people lose family members, but when it happens to you, it's so different.
Yeah, you didn't feel like it would even happen to
you. Everybody always says, I couldn't imagine if that happened to me. And then it happened to me. So I was numb for a minute when it happened. And
what exactly happened to your brother?
So my brother was a bigger guy, with, bigger people, health risks are higher.
Yeah.
And my brother, he had diabetes, he had high blood pressure, probably obese, and it affected his kidneys. So, all three of those in the black community by themselves, it's deadly. So all three of them together probably killed out his kidneys fast. Because when they diagnosed him in 2018, they said his kidneys functions like at 15%. And, everybody's, having a positive outlook on it. He's getting help for it and stuff like that. But then there was one night he had left like some paperwork on the table. And me being nosy, I looked at it and it was like end-stage renal. End-stage renal. I don't know what it was. But basically like the worst one. So, you find that out. And then you get on the internet, old Google, good, bad, in between. I looked it up. And then I started looking up at like life expectancy. And it wasn't good at all. Basically, it was like from any point now to maybe a couple months, maybe a year, I don't know. So at that point, I just started being like, okay, everybody else isn't taking in how serious this is. So I was on countdown mode.
Preparing yourself.
Yeah, basically. I was scared, but what can I do?
Yeah.
It's not in my control. And then I want to say maybe a couple of months into treatment, he passed away. And after that moment, I felt like if I can make it through this, I can make it through anything. So.
And for what it's worth, I am sorry for your loss, man.
I appreciate it.
That's not easy for anybody.
Yeah. It's, people always say, like, how are you so strong to talk about it? Well, my brother used to leave, sayings. Now, my brother didn't know he was going to die that quick. But he always had sayings like, I'm not going to be here forever. Listen to what I'm saying. It might feel like I'm coming on to you, but one day you might wake up and I'm not going to be here. But, as a young kid, you just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But it got really real. And all this happened within a summer after me coming home from college. So when I thought me and my brother were going to be really close, get to hang out, go to the movies, do stuff big brother and little brother do.
Yeah.
I come home and he can't work, and he's on disability and stuff like that. So I'm just like, what? Because in school, you hear a different story. He's getting all this taken care of.
Yeah.
Cool. But then I come home and my mom's taking his vitals every day, and I'm seeing him inject needles and taking his blood pressure and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is serious. Because at the time I went to school for health and education, physical education, and when that happened, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going back to school.
You ended up going back, right?
Of course, I finished my degree.
Good.
I only had 1 year left, and I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna definitely do it for him.
Yeah.
But so the people that don't know, my brother was 5 people in one. He's my best friend, my big brother, my role model, father figure, and just that was my superhero. So people, you just lost your big brother. No, I lost 5 people in one. So it was almost like if they lined 5 caskets up that day.
God.
Now, of course, there's one,
Yeah.
but to me, it was 5 people.
Yeah.
So, to this day, every time I have a anxious day, bad day at work, or anything like that, I always have this acronym in my head. It's, everybody knows, what would Jesus do? Mine is what would Dennis do? So, I don't know, that might be a tattoo one day, something like that, maybe on my hand right here. But I don't know. That's what keeps me going. And my brother always told me, in order to make it through life, put God first, and don't cloud your thoughts, and feel how you're supposed to feel. If something makes you mad, don't act like it doesn't. If you're sad, don't be afraid to cry.
Yeah.
Don't try to put on the front for everybody. And he's like, leave drugs and alcohol alone, because that's not gonna help anything. He always said, you can get high and forget about everything, but your problems are gonna be there when the high comes down and you sober up.
Yeah.
So I'd rather deal with all my problems and issues the natural way.
Yeah, and I mean it's an escape for people, and it's like neither of you, not you or me, are judging people that do it. But
I can't.
It's a temporary escape. It's nothing permanent.
Right.
And having the role model that you had and having the discipline you already have, those are more, I wouldn't say exactly permanent, but those are stronger pillars to hold you up and keep you going through the things you go through, whether it be the loss of a family member, whether it be the lack of support from the people in your environment, and the judgment and the bias and the adversity you had to go through and all of that. It's like, honestly, if you stick to something that is healthy, and you stick around the positive people, especially like your brother, it's like you're always gonna prevail.
For sure. And I got that tattoo, the word prevail, behind my ear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that's crazy.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I got the word prevail tattooed behind my ear, my right ear, and then behind my left ear is a cross.
Yeah, man.
So, simple reminders that, everything's temporary. If I get mad, if I'm sad, if I look at my bank account and I'm not happy, I know it's temporary.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep a good outlook on life, because it's already hard enough.
Right.
Why make it even harder?
Exactly.
When you can look at stuff like on the brighter side. But yeah, I commend my mom and my brother for sure, because they kept me out of all the trouble, but they also rewarded me for being a good kid.
Yeah.
So new toys, clothes, they didn't have it. Like, they weren't rich, they weren't poor. So they made ends meet, got me whatever I wanted to, as long as I kept my end of the deal. I mean, that's pretty easy if you ask me.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble, do well in school, come home after school. Yeah. We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah.
So.
And it sounds like you had good examples to kind of follow.
Sure. Nah, they weren't perfect, but yeah, they for sure, they wouldn't get on to me for something they wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I sometimes look at it like, dang, I wish I had a pops. I wish I had a dad, but I had it the whole time. And then if it wasn't my brother, my mom was there for me. So
yeah,
and she still is. Even though my brother's not here, I hear him every day. Certain smells remind me of him. 'Cause my brother was a chef.
Oh, wow,
okay. Was well educated, graduated high school, associates, masters. all that stuff.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah,
And like we kind of talked about before, it's no matter really what anyone believes, as long as there's something that's holding up their belief system.
yeah,
There's a lot of strength from faith.
for sure.
And whenever you have that, even just the thought of what would Dennis do,
Yeah,
or just having that cross or having that word prevail on you, these things are all helping support you and actually carry on a legacy of who you've lost or who's been a factor in your life, because you're using it in a positive way.
for sure.
Although it came from a negative place, at least in that loss and all those things you've dealt with, it's amazing to anyone who's listening to us right now. It's like, see how Elijah converts it into strength.
For sure.
And that's amazing. And I hope that inspires whoever's listening, because I hope you know that you're an example for other people. And as much as we may not even pay attention to what we're doing and how we're affecting other people just by being ourselves,
Yeah,
you're doing that.
yeah.
And like, for what it's worth, I'm really proud to even know you.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Of course. So it's amazing to watch somebody take such, call it hardships,
Yeah,
and turn it into something that benefits them in a way, because it's not easy what you went through. It's not easy to have to deal and face that, but turning it into a strength, turning it into some sort of power for yourself to kind of help you get through and prevail.
yeah, for sure.
That's inspiring.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. And people that doubted me, people that thinned out after my brother had passed. And I heard the naysayers, they were like, I don't know what he's gonna do. He's always had his brother. I'm worried about him and stuff like that. Well, I mean, you don't have to worry. I mean, what people don't know is, my brother didn't really speak a lot, but he was wise. But he prepared me for everything.
Yeah. And you did too. You prepared yourself.
For sure. And I don't give myself enough credit because, like you said, that stuff's not easy to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to remember, I'm not the only one going through hardships and, financial crisis. And
well, the first thing you said was like, you don't expect other people, or you see everybody else going through it, but you don't expect it to be you.
right.
Flip it around when you are dealing with it. It also helps you realize, if you look at that statement that you said before,
Yeah.
it's like everybody else was going through it before you had to go through it.
Yeah.
Shows you that you've never ever been alone in that situation, even in the moments where we do feel like that and we feel like we've got a storm cloud just hanging over us. But a lot of people are in the rain.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of people could just use that support, that umbrella, that thing that helps get them out of it. But the number one thing is realizing that they're not alone.
Yeah, I'm still in the rain myself right now. There's stuff I got to work on.
Like what? What's going on now?
I mean, just being more self-sufficient, holding myself to a higher standard, not letting everybody else's opinions bother me.
Right.
Because like we said earlier, what I do is repetitive. I'm cool with coming home doing the same things every day. Some other people might be more outgoing. Well, right now, I don't have it to where I want it to be. But just to show, like, the work's getting put in. For like later on in life, I'll be fine. But I don't understand. I don't want people to. How would I word this? I don't want people's judgments to cloud what I got going for myself.
Yeah.
Like, to some people, I might be boring. You do the same stuff every week. Switch it up. I'll get to that point, but for right now, going to the gym, coming home after work, playing basketball with my friends, and stuff like that. And I got some good friends, and I ain't gonna give like a big list of people that I shout out, but like they know who they are. But like, shout out to Chris, shout out to B, shout out to Khalil, shout out to Zach, shout out to Dro, Seth, like all my friends. Like, if I left anybody out, I'm sorry, but like those guys, they keep me motivated. I can talk to them about anything.
Yeah.
I probably get on their nerves talking about the same stuff over and over again, but like when it comes to, this didn't work out, stuff like that, they always have an open ear, and I'm the same way with them. But I got like a real solid group of friends.
That's good, man. It's good to have that support system.
And they don't mind, telling me what I need to hear.
Yeah.
Whether it's something I don't want to hear, whether it's some stuff that might irk me at the time, but they're pretty good at, telling me, like, hey, man, you kind of messing up. Like, lock in, tighten up. That's our thing. We always say lock in. So,
yeah. It's good to have people that are actually going to be honest with you and actually have your best interest at heart. So it's good that you actually flock to that more than you flock to the people that are saying it's boring. Because at the end of the day, really, that's just the way of, like, the universe showing you that they aren't meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
Because if they were, it's not like, oh, they would drop everything and change who they are and just try to make it work. Because that would be fake.
Right.
That wouldn't be real. And when people show their true colors, it's just like, let it be what it is. And get away from it to kind of help benefit yourself, because obviously flocking to those friends, the people in your family that you consider support, it's like that's what really holds up the structure of your strength. And then whenever, because you'll have the days where it's always you and you're coming from within and you're making it on your own, but then on the days where it's hard to support yourself or you feel like you're not as self-efficient and all that, it's like you got reminders. And what people, like I say, I'm a mirror, but it's like anyone around you is really a mirror.
Right.
And they help kind of show through that honesty. They're like, here's that reflection. Here's what you need to do. Lock in, do this. But everybody who's listening to, take that point out of it that you got to have a good support system. You're not alone, and never isolate yourself to the point where, you feel like it's all coming down on you. Because there could be someone standing in the rain right next to you.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, man. And so, is there any specifics of what's going on right now other than that?
Man, just, I don't know about everybody else, but, financial-wise, financially, I feel like everybody's in a crutch right now.
Yeah.
The market's going up, inflation's hitting everything, groceries going up, gas is, in and out, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We're not even talking about, cars. If something happens to them,
the wages of jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty wild right now.
Yeah, but just trying to not focus in so much on like how much is in my bank account, because sometimes that can be very deterring. You look down and an unexpected bill come out and it's a minus sign in your bank account. It hurts.
I've been there.
Oh yeah. It hurts, but I always tell my friends, it's paid.
Yeah. I don't. Priorities are set.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, lights are still on. The water's still running.
Yeah.
Your internet's still on. Electricity, TV's still kind of on. Your AC's still on. So
that's another point, man. Is that gratitude? Because
sure.
like we can always focus in on those problems and kind of get distracted by them.
For sure.
Or we can be in that clarity of like, let me zoom out.
Yeah.
Let me be a little bit higher and above what these
the world's throwing at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I had a humble beginning, and I'm, people probably don't know this, but like it was at one point before me, my brother and my mom moved into the house that she lives in now. When it would rain, we would get worried because there was a hole in the ceiling. Now it wasn't like bad, but like it was right beside an electrical outlet in the ceiling, so it was dangerous. So when it would rain, we have a bowl, we sit it on the top of the kitchen table, and we would just hear this all night.
Oh man.
So, when people always complain that it's raining, to me, it's different because rain is peaceful. So like when I'm in my nice apartment, that I work hard for, and I hear rain, I'm instantly out, sleep. Because at one point, I remember it used to stress me out. Like, dang, I hope the water don't get too crazy in the kitchen. But now, I hear that against the roof. I know there's not any leaks in my house, nothing like that, and I sleep like a baby.
Yeah. That's a good way to turn things around on because even, with all of these interviews and what I talk about, I'm referring to it as something negative, but you're turning it into something positive with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And let's also add, like, when it rains, it's watering the nature.
Right.
It's helping the flowers grow.
Nurturing,
Yeah. So there's really it's necessary.
For sure.
And I just love the way you turned it around, too, just on the fact that it can be peaceful and it's not always as chaotic as a thunderstorm can be.
For sure, yeah. But, like, I don't really see my storm as a storm. I see it as a process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, I can't really ask for the rainbows unless I get a little rain. So,
And people just want to focus on the rainbow.
Yeah.
And they're taking pictures of the sunset, and they're all focused in on like the beauty in that. But there's beauty in the storm,
Yeah,
in the process.
for sure.
And people take that for granted. They also don't appreciate the time that they're spending within it, because they're always focused on the goal or the end result, that gratification. But there's gratification out of making it through all that too.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing for anyone in here to also kind of pause where they are right now and just appreciate.
Yeah, resiliency has been like my biggest characteristic.
Yeah.
You know, just taking what everybody has to say negative and making it into something positive.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be a square at the end of the day. You know, what y'all say is, you know, I'm boring. You know, I do the same stuff every day. Well, that means I'm also getting stronger in the activities I do.
Yeah, because you're not gonna let outside sources dictate your actions and what you do. That is strong.
And I used to have a big poster of Bruce Lee in my room when I lived back home. I think I might have to go get it again and go to the mall in J-Town and get the poster. But it was a Bruce Lee picture, and he was doing a kick. And I forgot how the quote was, but it was like, you shouldn't fear a man that knows, you know, 1,000 kicks. You should fear the man that does one kick 1,000 times. So yeah, and then I took that and I put it right on my post, like on my wall, when I lived back home with my mom. I wish I would have kept it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I might have to circle back and get that.
Sounds
again.
like it.
Yeah,
man.
And I didn't even really like Bruce Lee.
Oh, really?
Not really. I didn't like him, but he was before my time.
Yeah. No,
so
I get you.
I'm kind of late on that trend, but a lot of my inspirations, role models, you know, everybody that knows me know that I love Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah,
Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, Michael Jordan, Eazy-E. Now that's one of the reasons why I go by E now. I watched Straight Outta Compton, and everybody just called him E, and I was like, I don't want to be called that. And it just stuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think everything's like a full circle moment.
Yeah.
But Kobe Bryant, definitely. Anytime I can watch any type of motivational videos on YouTube or get out of a stump, I can just always Google him and find out something.
Yeah.
Something inspiring, you know, when he was going through what he was going through. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And I guess in a way I kind of want to wrap things up is just to tell you that you can look at, like, those are great role models and everything.
Yeah.
In this moment right now, you're one of those.
For sure.
And I hope, you know, you take into consideration how proud you should be of yourself for getting through the rain you've been through, being in the rain right now and being completely fine and strong. And for anybody watching this right now, you take that role right now.
For sure.
And you're the one inspiring people off of your story, because yeah, it's good to look at these famous celebrities or athletes or people that are really making it. They're great examples. But some of the better examples are really just everyday human beings that are going through that same type of, maybe not the same, obviously, it's all circumstantial, but it's like going through the real process of life that most of us go through, whether it be like anybody from Fulton, anybody from Louisville, Kentucky. Like there's a lot of similarities in some of the things we deal with in our environment. And there's people that are listening, I at least hope, that can relate to you.
For sure.
And take it as an example of what to do, which is have a support system, have a discipline and a regimen and a thing that kind of keeps you grounded, keeps you to your goals, and sticking to the process of it instead of seeking that gratification, that instant gratification, the quick results of anything, because it's easy to be, oh, this is lame, this is boring, and I don't want to do this right now, and I want to get to the fun part. But you already know the sunny day, that fun part, that good time and everything you're going towards, it's on its way because you're going through the process, because you're going through the rain. And so it's just, for what it's worth, I'm saying how proud I am of you. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
I don't give myself enough credit, for real. I'm so hard on myself.
Yeah.
You know, I really see how well I'm handling everything when it's close to bedtime. You know, I turn on ridiculousness
There you
before I
go.
go to sleep, and
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. The AC just kicked on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, little details like that.
Yeah.
You know, you hear that. You know, you hear everything click together. You can
Mm-hmm.
hear, you know, cicadas and stuff like that in the background.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just like like a full circle moment.
And it's a appreciation and a moment of gratitude that leads you to that peace.
For sure.
And so I appreciate, you talking with me and going through all this. I know not all these things are always easy to share, and I appreciate you for being open with me, not only me, but the audience.
For sure.
And I hope that anyone who's listening and watching this, that they actually took something useful from it that can help aid them in what they may be going through. And all I can say is that I really do appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you for doing this piece, man.
Well, hey, this is all I do, man. It's all I want to do is help people help themselves.
For sure.
That's the goal. And so you keep doing what you're doing, bro. And anyone who's watching, I just want to say, let me grab the mic. Thank you for watching, and please tune in next time for the next Stormy story. Peace.